listeners. Welcome back. It is us, Dragon's Greed Gaming. You are joining us for our Session 0 of Blade Runner, the role-playing game by Free League Publishing. Going to be starting off just a couple episodes here. We're going to dive into the starter set for Blade Runner, which is called Electric Dreams. You may have heard other podcasts do it, but we're going to put a little spin on ours. We're going to let our players roll up their own Blade Runners rather than using the pre-gen characters. And because we might come back to this, I can almost guarantee we're going to come back to Blade Runner because I can already tell I'm really going to enjoy it. So I've been on a big Blade Runner kick lately. So I think at some point we're going to come back and we'll see if the players want to maybe start our own campaign or use them in other pre-gens if and when they get released. So yeah, check that out. But we're going to just do some character creation tonight. So if you're new to the game, as many of us are, 'cause it's only been out for a very short time, then you can feel free to follow along at home. If you want to learn more about Blade Runner and the system itself, then be sure to check out our other episode that I will have on before this, where I just spend a little time delving into the basic mechanics of the game and also a little bit of the history of the Blade Runner universe, just to get you up to speed, as I like to do with our other RPGs. As always, stop by Facebook, YouTube, Spreaker, iTunes, Apple Podcast. Leave us reviews, thumbs up, subscriptions. Help us grow the channel, as always. It sounds a little weird saying this again because we just recorded another episode tonight, so it's we're doing twice here, but I know something different you guys are listening to. Anyway, you know the deal. Come by the Patreon. Check some of that good stuff out if you want to hear more, or if you want to hear more Blade Runner in particular, let us know. Check out our patron-only actual play series, or just, swing on by. Wherever it is, however you can support us, we love it. And I hope you Alien fans out there are listening, because I think you're going to get a real kick out of this. And if you're new to the channel or new to Blade Runner RPGs, welcome. It's going to be, I think, a real fun ride. This is going to be probably 2 to 4 sessions, 2 to 4 episodes, depending how fast they get through. But, as we know with RPGs, sometimes things take a lot longer than they should or happen a lot faster than they expect. So we'll see how long this goes. And we're going to try to do much more of a serious tone to this game. Probably even more serious than we did with Warhammer. We're going to try to really stay in character in here and really try to immerse you guys in the Blade Runner universe, because I think that is the most important key to all of this. So a little bit like Alien, but a little bit darker in some regards, a little bit more psychological things in this system. So, make you think and question what's really going on. So if you've seen the films, good on you. If you haven't, you should. I highly recommend them. You don't need to really know what happens in the second film, because the RPG takes place in 2037, whereas the second film with Ryan Gosling takes place in 2049. So this is a couple years before that. But some of the stuff here kind of bleeds into the second film. But anyway, we're going to sit down, we're going to write some characters, shouldn't take too long. Just talk the very basics of the system and teach the players how this game works in Foundry. And then next week we will dive into our episode. So, joining me tonight, we've got a slightly different cast of characters tonight. Eric is tagging out. He's going to take a break for a few episodes, spend some time with the family, go on vacation. So he's earned it. He was the war boss in our last game, so he's earned the vacation. So we'll go around the table, introduce ourselves, tell us who you are, and what you're looking forward to in this RPG. We don't have characters yet. We may have characters' ideas, but we don't have characters yet, so we won't worry about who you're playing. We'll get to that later. So we'll start it off with our veteran coming back to join us, my very best friend, Tyler. Take it away.
Oh, Chris, I am so pumped to play this game. I've been a big fan of Blade Runner since I was little. It's just got such a incredible ambiance, and like you said, I think it's going to be very thought-provoking and interesting, and maybe make you question your morals. So I guess that's what I'm most pumped about. I'd like a good detective game full of intrigue.
That's the plan. We want you to question what's right, what's wrong. We're going to explore the gray in that between those two extremes. Because if you're familiar with the films, or even I guess just being a regular old cop, it's sometimes not always uh, clear. What do you do? So we're going to delve into that hopefully pretty deep here. Awesome. Joining us back then from our other campaigns, pretty much every one of them, my good friend Sean, who is quickly becoming a veteran here on the channel as well.
Yeah, I'm Sean, and I'm excited to sort of delve into the world of Blade Runner. I've only recently started to get to know it from watching the first movie and rewatching the second movie. But I like a good noir vibe, lots of cyberpunky stuff, rain and neon signs. It all seems pretty cool.
Okay, so we got a bit of a Blade Runner newbie here. I mean, I'm by no means an expert. I've really only gotten into Blade Runner the last couple years. But then Freylig had to go and make a game, so I was like, well, yeah, of course we're going to play it. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right. Yeah, my expertise on Blade Runner is nowhere near as it is in Alien, so we'll see how this goes. Looking forward to it. Also joining us again, a veteran from pretty much all of our games at this point, Kyle, the Redbeard himself, is back. And he's probably muted. Or he's just not talking. All right, we'll give Kyle a second here to mess around. So, joining us from our last campaign, he's been a guest on many of our other shows as well, including Alien, and he was in Gallows Geist a couple times. He's also one of our main characters in our Wrath and Glory Mork's Mad Boys campaign, and you can see him praying to the God of the Sea in our Patreon Warhammer Tales from the Old World campaign. Please welcome back the Frog.
Hello, that's me, the Frog. Yeah, so I think I'm excited for this whole Blade Runner thing. Big fan of sci-fi. I think when I was younger, we were more kind of in the Verhoeven camp, which would be like your RoboCop and Total Recall.
Yeah.
So I can definitely get into the like headspace of like, what am I really, and is this real? But there are a lot of like other things I think that I'll need to reel in, just like to take it seriously and get into the noir sort of vibe.
No shooting guys in the balls with ricochets off the wall.
Look, I mean, I'm gonna probably try to do that at some point, but
That's
I'm
fine.
I'm not gonna work it in every 6.5 minutes as a Paul Verhoeven.
Well, if when you're fighting those filthy criminals, you got to teach them, right? So shoot him in the dick. All right, we're gonna swing back to Kyle here and see if his mic is working now.
I'm back. Hooray. Yeah, it's me. It's me, Kyle. Very excited to be doing Blade Runner with you guys. I was a big Blade Runner fan as a kid. Loved the sequel, loved the whole noir thing. I've been like a noir fan since I was a kid. I really like black and white. Like I have a replica of the Maltese Falcon. So I'm
Ooh, okay.
I love kind of the noir feeling, and then making it sort of the futuristic retro tech. I gobble that shit up. It's so great. So happy to be doing this.
Cool. All right. Well, for the most part, we're all experienced with Blade Runner to some degree here. As I said, listeners, I am no expert, but I've done my best here. I've done some homework. So, starting off with our characters here. So, players, character and listeners, character creation is very, very simple in this game. We'll just go through it one step at a time. And okay, so step one in creating a Blade Runner, and most of this, listeners, can be done randomly. You can choose or you can roll for pretty much all of this stuff. Whether or not you do that is totally up to you. So the first thing is whether or not you want to play as a human or a replicant. Regardless of what you are playing as far as your, we'll say, species, you are a Blade Runner working for the LAPD. So that is the theme of the game. You are Blade Runners, the detectives that are meant to investigate any and all crimes when it comes to replicants and deal with all the shit that comes with that. So first thing is whether or not you're human or a replicant. Much like androids and aliens, or the Alien RPG, replicants have some special rules. First off, the replicants will get to add an extra point to either their strength or agility score to represent that they are a bit more tough and robust than a standard human. When replicants push rolls, they only ever suffer stress. They don't suffer physical damage. In this game, when you push a roll, if it's a strength or agility roll, and you get a 1, then you suffer health damage. If you push a roll that is either your intelligence or empathy, you gain stress. So there's kind of 2 forms of damage in this game, mental and physical, so to speak. When either your health or your resolve reaches 0, then that's where you take like critical damage and trauma and stuff like that. Replicants can also push rolls twice, whereas humans can only push them once. Similar to some of the talents that we've seen throughout Alien, sometimes it'll let you push a certain skill, like any strength-based skill, more than once. But in this game, it's any skills. Now, in this game, there's not a stress mechanic like in Alien, so you don't have to worry about your character freaking out and losing control of themselves. But when you push, rather than failing the roll, if you roll a 1, you damage yourself. And that's one of the ways you can take damage and kind of knock yourself out of a fight or an encounter. Replicants also in this game can only ever be rookies. So when you make your character, you choose how long you've been on the force. There's 4 different levels, so to speak. The longer you've been on the force, the older your character is, obviously. And so your physical attributes are a little bit less. You get less experience points to spend on your physical attributes, your strength, your agility, your empathy, your intelligence, because you're older, you're aging, you're not as fast or spry as you used to be. But the longer you've been on the force, the more skill points you have for leveling up your skills to represent that you are experienced, you've been around a while, you know a thing or two about being on these streets. However, and you get extra specialties, which are kind of like this game's version of talents. And they're similar to how the talents kind of work in Alien. So I believe rookies get 0 talents, whereas a veteran on the force, I think, gets 2 or 3. So that's a big part of that. So replicants can only ever be rookies, because if you are a replicant Blade Runner, that means you are a Nexus 9 model, which are the newest models. And in the game, the Nexus 9s have only been around for just around a year. So there's no way you could be an older one. And I believe that is everything for the difference between replicants and humans, other than obviously the way you may be treated excuse me. Oh, replicants also get +2 bonus to their health rating, but they get -2 to their resolve, so they're physically more robust, but they're mentally a little less stable. Finally, obviously, other than whether or not people treat you, being a replicant is a big part of how they treat you. You can choose if you want to have me roll to see if you're secretly a replicant, whereas you don't even know, your character, your player does not know they're a replicant until some point in the story. So that's where we'll start. So does everybody have a choice in mind? Does anybody want me to roll to see if they are a secret replicant, or just let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, if you wanted to roll for me, I was gonna try and
same.
and do that.
Secret replicant could be cool.
Okay, Matt and Tyler, how about you?
I'm gonna choose to be a replicant.
Okay, Matt.
I was rolling around in character creation. and the dice told me try a replicant out, so I might do that. I think that gives us a
Okay.
possibly 2-2 style team, which I don't know if
Well, that's exactly what the starter set has too, so that's good. So if you're going to be a replicant, just
Between
pick
2 and 4.
replicant on your character sheet underneath where it says Blade Runner in the middle. I'm sorry, that's where your name is. So if you have a name for your character, you put that in for now. We'll get to that in a second. Otherwise, just choose from the drop-down menu human or replicant, and I'll roll secretly for the other ones here. I don't know. Yeah, so that should give you extra health, and then it'll let you do the rules for replicants. I'll roll here. I'll do the roll secretly, but for players and listeners, the way this works according to the rule book, the GM rolls a d6, and if I roll a 6, which is the eye, there's like a little eyeball icon, then you are secretly a replicant and you do not know it. So my first roll here is going to be for Kyle, and my second roll here is going to be for Sean. These coming up as hidden rolls for you guys?
Yep.
All right,
Well, yes.
perfect. Okay.
Yeah, can't
And
see shit.
Because we're using the Foundry module, you will see the dice. They are the Blade Runner dice. You see there's the eye icon, which are successes, and then the ones are origami unicorns. Those are bad. So you can kind of see in the rolls there. Yep, perfect. Okay.
Chris, it's not letting me choose in the drop-down menu. It says only GM.
Let's see.
I mean, for purposes of tonight, I don't know how much that matters. There you go.
Oh, maybe that's only something I can change then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like it's there now.
All right, cool. All right.
Saw my health go up.
If you decide to roll for this, listeners and players, just like do a random roll. It's 1 through 3 is a human, 4+ is a replicant, so it's a 50-50 chance. Then you choose your archetype, which is like your class. Now, very similar to Alien, the classes do not mean a whole lot here. I would say even less than an Alien. One of my only complaints about this game, I don't think classes mean enough. The big thing that there's some classes or archetypes that only a replicant can be, and that only a human can be. So that is something to keep in mind here. But basically, what your archetype means is that you'll have certain skills, and one of your attributes will be your key attribute and key skills, and those are the ones that you can level up the highest to get the maximum potential out of your character. Just like in Alien, you could, if strength's your maximum attribute, you can actually put it up to a 5, whereas you can't with the other ones. That's really it. It gives you a suggestion of specialties based on your archetype, but you don't have to follow that. Archetypes in this game, anybody can pick any of them pretty much. So, with that in mind, is anybody going to roll, or did everybody already have choices in mind?
I kind of had one in mind.
Okay.
I didn't, so I was just gonna roll.
All right. Well, Sean, if you'd want to roll us a d12 here, you are a human. I can't find these tables in Foundry. I don't know if they're actually in here or not, so I got the book open. A 2 is a city speaker,
Okay.
which means you're kind of the you're the officer who is out on the streets and you have a lot of connections.
Okay. Is there somewhere I would put that on my character sheet?
I'm looking, and I don't.
There's a little arrow on the right side. If you click it, it opens up a thing that.
Oh, there it is.
Type.
Yeah, you got to
Yep.
highlight on your character sheet next to your
Strange.
health and resolve. It's like
Indeed.
hidden.
Upper right side.
Oh, I see. Because it's a blank. Okay, interesting. Do you see that, Sean?
No, I'm still. Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's super weird. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Okay, city speaker. Got him.
All right, Kyle, what are you gonna be?
I am choosing Inspector.
Okay. And then Matt, are you being a replicant as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna change that in character sheet. There you go. Okay, what were you gonna play?
I had rolled and got the lucky result of Fixer.
Okay, yeah, only one chance for that on here. Okay. And then Tyler, how about you?
I'm gonna roll and just work it in.
All right, go for it. D12, please.
/RD12, right?
Yeah, or just click the little D12 icon underneath the chat log.
Boy. There we go.
A 10. Okay, you guys can see, just as for example, that had 2 successes, had 2 eyeballs. A 10 is also an inspector. Do you want to keep that or reroll?
Let's round it out. Let's do something different.
Okay, go ahead, reroll. 6 is a doxy, which is something that only replicants can be.
Let's go with it.
So I don't recall what doxies are exactly, but we'll get to that.
I think they're the assassin murder guys.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment here. Let's see. You always know what to say: body language, eye contact, vocal tones, body temperature, pulse rate, even scent. Every detail, another window into your subject's state of mind. Earlier models used this data to serve a person's need. You only serve the law. Now those same signals enable you to detect and project anything you want, anything the case demands. Your hyper-awareness and self-control enable you to manipulate every fiber of your being, convincing others to trust you, to fear you, to betray all they hold dear just to see you smile. You pity them. What hope could they have against something like you? Even still, it could be worse for them. Words are not your only weapons. You are a prime physical specimen born with 10 lifetimes of lethal Black Ops training in close combat, infiltration, and assassination. With flawless grace, dexterity, and athleticism, your natural gifts and guile can flip, slip, slither, and slit into anywhere, through anyone. To do anything you must. Your orders are often ruthless, but you choose to poison with compassion. If you must be brutal, you will make it beautiful. If you are the last thing they see, it should be something to behold. This gives you your key attribute is agility. Your key skills are hand-to-hand combat, mobility, and manipulation. I don't know if that changes anything on your character sheet or not when you guys select an archetype. I'm not sure.
No, I don't see anything different.
Yeah, we'll probably just have to go through here and see. All right, well, I don't see any way to mark that off, so whatever. Okay, next is how long you have been on the force. So if you're a replicant, you're automatically a rookie, which means you've been on the force for a year or less. And this means you will have 4 points to spend on your attributes, which is, again, strength, agility, intelligence, and empathy, pretty much as all Free League games have. And then for our humans, did you want to pick or roll for this?
Roll for me.
Okay, it's a D12 as well. Also, rookies. So this determines a couple things. It determines your attribute points, so you have 4. It determines your skill points, of which you have 8. You start with no specialties. You start with D3 promotion points and -1 Chinyan points, which is money in this game. So we'll get to all that in a second. Sean, what'd you roll there? I missed it.
A 1.
You are a rookie as well. And then Kyle, how about you?
I was gonna. I think I was gonna go veteran if I could.
Okay, so you've been on the force for 8 to 15 years, which is the 3rd oldest here. So maybe write these down somewhere just so you know. You have 2 points to spend on attributes. And if you're following along in the rulebook, we're on page 28 here in the rulebook.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 points to attributes, 12 points to skills.
Okay.
You get 2 specialties, D8 promotion points, and +1 to your Chinyan.
So should I roll that D8?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll that now, that's fine. Rookies, you're going to roll a D3 for your promotion points. And I think that's on your biography.
3 for me.
3 for me.
Yeah, biography is where you can put your years on the force. And
And then
Oh,
inventory. For
inventory.
promotion.
Yep, promotion, humanity, and Shinyan. Promotion is kind of like XP in this game, as is humanity. We'll get to that. Shinyan is your money. All right. Kyle's got 3. Sean has 3 on a D3. That's really good. Tyler's got 6 on a D8. I don't know. Tyler, you're a rookie, so you should be rolling a D3.
Got it.
And Matt's got 1. Okay.
How's that? -1 to 0 for being a replicant.
I'm getting to that. Let's start with the attributes here. So, okay, so starting attributes. So the way this game works, guys, is just like an Alien, you add up your attribute plus whatever skill you're using, and that determines your dice pool. Now, unlike most Free League games, this one uses polyhedral dice. So just like in D&D, we've got D6s through D12s. D6s being the lowest in this game, D12 being the highest. When you make a roll, you're looking to get at least 1 success, just like in Alien. 1 or more successes means you pass the test. Successes in this game are 6 or higher on whichever dice you're rolling. Obviously, rolling a larger dice means you have a better chance of getting more successes. If you roll a 10 or higher, so of course only possible on a D10 or a D12, those count as 2 successes. And you'll see that on the custom dice, they have 2 little eyeball icons rather than 1. So, with any of these, your attribute or your skill, they're rated between A, B, C, and D, with D being the lowest. A D is a D6, a C is a D8, a B is a D10, and an A is a D12, representing peak physical capabilities or mental capabilities or expert professional training in a skill. Whereas a 1 represents, the basics, or you're very weak and pitiful. So with attributes, we will start there. So when you create your Blade Runner, all of your attributes start at a C, which it looks like they are on the character sheet. So all of your attributes roll a D8. Now you can increase these as much as you want, and you have however many points I told you with your attributes. So rookies, you have 4 attribute points, and our veteran only has 2. Whatever your key attribute is based on your archetype must be at least at a B level. And if you need me to tell you what those are, I can.
So raising an attribute from C to B would be 1 point, right?
Yes.
And
they make
B
very
to A would be another 1 point.
Yes, and replicants, when this is done, you get 1 additional point that you can put either into strength or agility to represent that you're baller. So City Speaker, your key attribute is empathy. Doxy, your key attribute is agility. Fixer, was that what you were playing, Matt?
Yeah.
Your key attribute is empathy. And Inspector, your key attribute is agility. So again, those have to be at level B, and then you can level everything else up with whatever points you have remaining. Feel free to tell the listeners here how you're gonna put those points spread out, or what your stats are gonna be.
So, sorry, Chris, the D3 we rolled for, that's separate from the 4 we're getting as being a rookie?
D3 was for your promotion points.
Okay.
So my main stat is empathy, so I bumped my empathy up to A for 2 points, agility up by 1, and intelligence up by 1. So those 2 are B.
Okay.
I actually sort of did the same thing,
King.
and then put the extra point for agility for being a replicant. But maybe should I shift something over a little bit? I feel like all of our key attributes are empathy, agility. Do we have some strong guys or nerds? I could nerd a little bit.
No, we don't.
Reduce
No,
agility
I
1,
mean,
intelligence up 1.
In fact, I'm not very strong at all. I moved my strength down to D. My intelligence is at B, and my agility is at A.
Damn. All right.
You know what?
But you
I'm
you can't. Oh no, you can decrease.
You can do it once.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll,
So yeah, you can gain an extra increase by decreasing one attribute from C to D, and that'll give you an extra point if anybody wants to do that.
you know what? I'm gonna swap agility into strength. This guy's got to be good at handshakes. That's how he impresses people.
Nice.
Firm and resolute.
Is
That's what
everybody's primary
hand-to-hand
thing
is.
empathy here? It really is.
I think-
oh no, Doxy's agility. So we've got everything except strength as
Yeah.
a main attribute. Okay, everybody good so far? Everybody follow that? Everybody
Yeah.
done?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we go to your health and resolve. This determines your health points and your basically intelligence stress points. So your health equals the sum of the dice size for your strength and agility scores divided by 4. So, for example, if you have a D12, that would be 12. You have a D10, that's a 10. So add up those totals for your strength and agility, divide that by 4, rounding up, and that will be your health. I'm assuming the character sheet is doing this for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Auto
because
calculate.
mine's gone up and down with the changes.
Okay, all right. So what's everybody's health at then?
Mine's 7.
5.
5 for me.
7 for me.
Damn.
Okay, and then Matt.
Well,
if
the
you-
2 from the replicant.
Yeah,
bumped it.
Matt, you can click those to fill those in, it looks like. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So left click to fill it, right click to decrease it. Okay. And then your resolve, which I'm assuming the game did this as well, you equal up the total of your intelligence and empathy, divide by 4, rounding up. Replicants, you get +2 health, but -2 resolve. Looks like it's doing that. What's everybody's resolve totals here?
Mine's 2.
Ew.
Eesh. 6.
Ow.
You're definitely
That
a
comes
replicant.
with being a replicant, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 for me.
I have 4.
Okay. Wonderful.
We're all over the place.
All right. Next we have skills. So rookies, you have 8 points to spend. Veteran, you have 12 points to spend. So works the same way. They're ranked between A through D. Everything starts at D for a skill. That's the lowest it can go. If you don't have any ranks in it, then it's just, or advances, it's just a D. And you can see that there are 3 skills for each attribute with the exception of driving. Driving's like a special outliner skill in this. It's only needed if you're trying to do special stuff when driving. It's not just to like be able to actually drive a car. It's assumed you know how to do that at a basic level. But if you want to get into a high-speed chase or do fancy maneuvers with your spinner, you have to have points in driving. So all your skills start at a D, and you can assign your skills in any way you'd like. However, your key skills from your archetype must all be at least at level C. So I'll go through those because I don't, again, see these on the character sheet anywhere. So, City Speaker, your key skills are mobility, connections, and insight. And if anybody has questions about what skills do, we'll get to that in a second. A lot of them are very similar to Alien. Doxy, your key skills are hand-to-hand combat, mobility, and manipulation. So I would just set these to C right now because I don't have any choice in those. Fixer, yours are connections, manipulation, and insight. And Inspector, firearms, observation, and connections. So most of these are probably pretty self-explanatory. Hand-to-hand combat is for melee. Firearms is for shooting guns. Mobility is for moving fast, disengaging with enemies, athletical stuff like climbing a wall, stuff like that. Stealth is obviously to be sneaky. Force is like physical force, break down a door, push somebody, things like that. Stamina, constitution, vigor, resisting, endurance, stuff like that. Medical aid, pretty self-explanatory. Observation, being able to spot stuff, whether it's a crime scene and looking for clues or spotting an ambush, spotting somebody who's stealthing. Tech, also explanatory. Anytime you do anything technical with gadgets and gizmos, it's a tech roll. We already talked about driving. Insight is how well you read people, tell whether or not they're lying or if they've got an ulterior motive when they're speaking. Manipulation is this game's, just like an Alien, it's the diplomacy skill. It's, when you're trying to charm or intimidate somebody or convince them or argue a case with them. And Connections is kind of the unique one to this game. Connections is just that. It's, do you have connections in the city, within the force, maybe the people you can talk to? It's kind of like the gossip skill in Warhammer. It's an all-rounder for that. Now, those skills that have to go up to level C, those do come out of your allotment of skill points you have to spend.
Right. Yeah.
So again, rookies, you have 8, and our veteran has 12.
Nice.
I was really hoping you'd be the old-timer, Kyle, and just really
Yeah.
just be super jaded about everything.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I think I did this wrong to start. Those first 4 points, those only go into either strength, agility, empathy, or intelligence, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What class are you, Tyler? You're Doxy, right?
Yeah.
Your character sheet. There you go.
So now I have, okay, so now mine changed that. I fixed that. I put 2 into agility, 2 into empathy to give myself an A in both of those. And that bumped up my result to 3.
Okay, yeah, that is correct. So now do the same thing with skills, and you have 8
Right.
points to spend here.
And you make your key attributes have to be,
Yeah, so that's 3 of your 8 spent already.
alright, C or higher. Okay, do that first.
I like this really simple character creation. Yeah, the 8 points, 1-to-1 basis, go.
Pretty nice.
As it should be.
Yeah. So I put 2 points into connections, insight, and 1 into mobility. So there's B, B, and C.
So,
One
Chris,
is
my-
stealth. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, my mobility was already a C.
Oh, was
So
that one of your
I
key
have-
skills?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to pump more into that.
No, you don't have to
Already
if you
at
don't
a
want
C.
to.
Okay.
Yeah. It's up to you how
I-
you spend after the key ones.
Alright.
Kyle, when you're done with yours,
Yep.
you are going to want to go ahead and look at specialties because you get 2 of these. The rookies don't get these. These are like the talents of
Right.
the game. They are on page 60 of the rule book. And I'm looking to see where these go on your character sheet.
It's under mods. It's like the next
Oh,
one.
there we go. Okay.
Is there a rollable? Or
Um,
is there a?
I'm checking. I'm messing around with the character sheet here. Let me see what happens. That's probably to make a custom one. Let me see if
Yeah, 'cause
there's
I do that too.
probably under items. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Do you guys have anything in the items tab in Foundry?
No.
All right, let me give you guys access to this because this has critical injuries, items, and specialties, which is all things you guys should have access to anyway.
Okay, because I know the 2 I'm probably gonna pick.
All right. Kyle, you said you know what you're probably going to take? Tell us.
Yeah. So, Inspector, I think you get like, they suggest specialties that go with certain archetypes. And I picked 2 that go with Inspector. The first one is Hardened, which is it increases my maximum resolve by 1, and you can take it up to 3 times if you want.
Okay. And what else?
And then Married to the Job, so I can go for 4 shifts without downtime before suffering stress instead of the normal 3 shifts.
That's the fucking best one.
Yeah. It's not doing anything to my overall resolve, so
I think it did. Delete it and see what happens. Or was it already at 5?
it was already at 5. I should be at 6.
Okay, hold on. Do you guys have access to any of the other folders?
Critical injuries, items, and specialties.
There should be 6 folders. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got all of them.
Okay, good. All right. Oh, how do we change that, Kyle?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. I think... Yeah, here we go. Okay. So, Kyle, when you put your mouse over Hardened, you'll see there's a little bubble that pops up in the bottom right to edit and delete.
Uh-huh.
Hit the edit one, the little pencil. It brings up another menu.
Okay.
Then hit the middle one that says Features.
Okay.
And then hit the drop down where it says Strength, and you can go down to Health and Resolve and pick Resolve.
Oh, okay.
And see... Yep, there you go. +1. Boom.
Cool.
Nice job, Free League, with this so far. Looking really sexy. Okay, cool.
And that's probably because you can take it up to 3 times as well.
Oh yeah, makes sense. I saw there's other ones there too to give you advantage and stuff. Okay, cool. All right, has everybody done their skills? You want to run it past our listeners really quick, what you've picked?
Oh yeah. So, since my guy's an old timer, he doesn't really have the knees for the job anymore. So his mobility is smack dab at the bottom, D, big fat D. And his stealth is a little higher. His main skills are firearms, observation, and connection, so they're all at B. Low stuff, he's not good at tech. He's starting to fall behind. Guy doesn't know what the fuck. Medical aid, same thing. He's not the one to go to. Everything else he's kind of middling on. But he's, known for knowing people and observing people and sometimes shooting people.
Okay, that's fair. All right. Sean, anything you want to point out in your character?
Yeah, I guess connections and insight are his top ones with Bs. And then I just put a point into mobility, stealth, manipulation, and observation. So those are C. Everything else is D.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of points in the empathy stuff as required, but some extra in manipulation. I'm also bumped a rank up in tech and stamina and force in the strength quadrant.
Okay, and Tyler.
I'm kind of definitely leaning into the archetype that I'm some sort of informant or manipulative agent. So I put 2 into manipulation. I put 2 into firearms so I could still shoot a motherfucker. I put 2 into stealth, and then 1 into connections and 1 into insight. So it wasn't.
Okay.
I had something to back up my manipulation.
Makes sense. Cool. All right. Listeners, according to the rule book, it says you can roll for your specialties as well, but there's nothing in the book that tells you what to roll because there's 20 of these. So I guess just roll a big dice and go from there.
On your when it what is it, the character sheet, it says, or the character description, it says D3 for your specialty, so you can roll it that way.
Yeah, each archetype has a little table on their first page that has 3 specialties.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
just to roll. Yeah, but it says you can pick from any, I believe.
I'd rather do that.
I think for the core rulebook, those are ones that they suggest go well with said archetype, because there's some overlap.
Mhm.
Yeah. That, and again, that's one of, other than what your key attributes are, that's really the only thing that differentiates your characters. So but that's fine. Okay, now next we get to some of the really cool stuff for this game. Your key memory and your key relationships. So players and listeners, as if you've seen the films or anything like that, you're familiar that this is a universe where it's very thought-provoking. The question of am I human or what even makes somebody human is a big deal. And so, especially in the second film, memories are a big deal in this game. As you'd expect with any sort of officer of the law and crime drama. And then your key relationship is a person in your life that's really important to your character for whatever reason. So there's some cool tables you get to roll on here, which I think I would encourage everybody to roll just to see what it comes up with, and then you can kind of make a little story out of this. So they do have in-game mechanics as well. Your key memory probably won't change much. It's a key event that's happened in your past, whereas your key relationship, that could change. You know, friends come and go, relationships with people can end or change, so that makes sense. But they have effects in-game that allow you to restore stress and things like that, or get extra humanity points if you interact with them in some way. So with that in mind, why don't we go ahead and roll? Who would like to go first for their memory? Not everybody at once.
I'll do it.
All right, so Tyler, we're going to do a series of 4 rolls here. The first one is a D6, which determines when did this happen. Now, if you don't like this, you can pick one from the table if you've got like a character idea in mind. We're on page 31 of the rule book here, if you're following along at home. And
over to it.
So yeah, go ahead and roll a D6.
Here it comes.
A 1. So there you can see what the origami figure looks like. So this happened when you were a small child. The memory is now a fleeting vision.
So since I was never a child, is it fair to say just happened early on in my existence?
Well, being a replicant means that your memories are implanted, especially because you are a new version of replicants. It is part of the big thing in 2049 is that the replicants' memories are all false and implanted, but they're given memories to help them feel more human and to help them kind of cope. And it's one of the reasons, it's one of the things that makes them different from the older models. The older models didn't really have that, and they think that's part of the reason they started to go crazy and rebel. So the thought in the Blade Runner universe, the in-game reasoning, is that by giving you false memories, it gives you something to kind of ground you emotionally and hopefully keep you from freaking out. Now, replicants are aware, at least in most regards, they are aware that these memories are not real, but they still take comfort in having them. So, no, this is not something you have to re-roll. You can still have this.
All right, cool.
I guess since you know that you've never been a child, you're aware, you would know what your inception date is, which is the date that you, quote unquote, came off the line from the factory and were made active. So replicants know that date. At least you would, being a newer model. So to you, perhaps, rather than, since you know you never were a child, perhaps it's just that it feels like this memory happened a long time ago, and it's not as clear as a recent memory. So I'll let you play that as you will. Table number 2 is a D12. This is going to determine where did this memory happen.
All right.
5, in a serene, exclusive corporate headquarters.
All right, this is adding up.
And then, yeah, I guess you can actually like write this in. Actually, no, let me see if I can give you guys access, if I can find it in here. That way you can just copy and paste rather than having to type this yourself. Your Blade Runner. Here we go. Okay, let me give you access to... This is going to be under your Journals tab. And let me see if I can give you access. You should have something that says Your Blade Runner.
Okie dokie.
Did that show up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, and you can actually roll here on the table. There's little buttons in the top left corner
Oh,
to
very
roll.
good.
So yeah, if you want to, I don't know what happens if I roll this. Does it then pop up? Oh, well, it says where did it happen, but it doesn't actually read it out. Anyway, you can just copy and paste then onto your biography page.
Okay, cool.
Here, I'll do that for you
Started
while you.
writing.
Yeah, here, I'll do that for the next one for you. Well, I can't tell.
Okay.
So there's that. And then you had a 5, which was Serene Corporate Headquarters. Put that here. And then just be sure you save it. Okay, I'll let you edit that more later. But, okay, the next is who was there when it happened? So another D12, please. 11. A hunted replicant.
Oh.
Okay. And then finally, another D12 for what happened in this memory.
Here's the big one. Story is kind of taking shape on its own.
A 6. You were psychologically abused. Okay. Oh, wait, there's one more thing. Okay. Damn.
All right, one more D12 here.
Yep. How did it make you feel? How does that make you feel, Tyler?
Well, Chris, it made me feel lost.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right. So yeah, I would, like I said, copy and paste those into your key memory on the last page of your character sheet. And then you can start to figure out what kind of story that is. All right. Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go next.
All right, go for it. D6.
So, I did the first roll,
Mhm.
key memory 3.
When you were young, the event defined your view of the adult world. Okay.
Okay.
Where did it happen? In a wintry landscape covered by snow.
So am I supposed to drag these onto my character sheet or just type it out?
You need to highlight them and copy and paste is what I've been doing. Control C, Control V.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Control C.
Oh wait, what if we do this? Does this do anything? Oh, can we actually drag it? Oh, wait, I think we can. Oh, hold on. Where's your character sheet, Sean? Biography. Did that work? Oh, wait. No, it didn't. Wait, what if I do this? Oh, no, that just brings up the table. Okay.
Cringe.
That is some fucked up stuff there. Okay. You can drag it, but it just drags the whole key memory. So, yeah, and you can't even highlight it there. So yeah, just highlight it off the table. It seems to be the best way.
Okay. Give me a second. Alright, and then I got a 10. Wintry landscape. And then next one is it shows a D12 and a D10.
I don't know why there's other dice there. Just
Alright.
roll. These are all D12s, the rest of them. What happens if I roll this? Oh, you know why? It's showing what you rolled. I think.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, a perfect
right.
stranger.
Who was there? A perfect stranger. Okay. And then what happened? Oh boy. You suffered or witnessed a horrible accident. Perhaps something happened to that stranger.
Mm-hmm.
And it made you feel bold. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Matt, would you like to go next?
Sure. Would it be okay if I just recounted what I had previously rolled when we were
Yeah,
kind of
go for it.
brainstorming things?
Mhm.
Yeah. So my results are kind of similar, weirdly. is that my key memory takes place when I was a young teen. The event defined your view of the adult world. It was also in a wintry landscape covered by snow. But the people there were my parents, and I saw something extraordinary that I could not explain, and it made me feel bold.
Okay. You're free to re-roll if you don't want to have duplicates of anybody else's, or you can keep it.
Well, I guess my question was, where would we see a wintry landscape covered by snow? Because we're all in LA, the big mega city of New Angeles, and I don't know, geography-wise,
Well,
have you from like Wisconsin and seen their winters?
aren't you a replicant?
I mean, yes. So it doesn't
So
really matter, but
it-
I just want to like,
It's implanted, right? So
yeah.
you don't know. Like, where would you go to see snow? It's a great question, which you do not have an answer to.
Okay.
Now, don't roll wintry landscape, Kyle.
Oh shit, I'll try.
All right, Kyle, you are next then. D6, please.
Okay.
6. This happened just a few weeks ago. Damn.
Shit,
Alright.
son. All right.
And then a D12. Where did this happen? In a foreign land surrounded by crowds speaking a language you didn't understand. Okay.
What?
Doesn't necessarily mean it's in another country. Maybe it's just a place that's foreign to your character.
Yeah.
Somewhere in LA he's not used to being. Who was there?
Masked.
Masked killers.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right. What happened? You took part in a battle or a massacre. Okay. And how did it make you feel? Jaded. I think your character probably feels that all the time.
Yeah. Holy shit. A few weeks. All right.
Damn, son. All right. So, next we have our key relationships, and this is similar. We're going to roll. This is only 3 rolls, though. This determines who your key relationship is, what they're like, and something that's going on in their life. So, Tyler, we'll start with you again. These are all D12 rolls, and it's you guys can see it's in the same folder I gave you. Just go down to key relationship and pop that open if you'd like.
Very good. Here I go. Here is first D12.
Oh yeah, so guys, every time you open that folder, it changes the rolls. So it'll actually, if you do it that way, you don't actually have to click the button, but it's up to you if you want to actually roll dice. Okay, a 4. Who is it? Your spouse.
Spouse.
Your made-up spouse.
All right.
Or
Next.
I don't know, Art. Maybe you are married. I don't know. I don't know how that works with
Yeah.
replicant. You tell me.
We're gonna find out with our next one here. Oh, loving. All right.
Okay. A loving relationship. Well, that's good with your spouse rather than violent or deceitful.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Only
not
in
good
your head.
adjectives on that
Okay,
list.
Great. Only in your head.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. That one's coming up next. All right.
and what's going on? You're in a fight about something.
Drama's pumping already.
Yeah. I guess you could be married to another replicant, perhaps. I mean, you could be married to a human too. Totally up to you. I don't.
I
know
mean,
if
that's
there's
the way
laws.
that's the way we're going in real life right now. So I don't know.
All right, Sean, you're next.
Yeah.
Key relationship. 12. It is a DG, which is a digital companion.
Oh no.
Very similar to what Officer K has in
Yeah.
the movie with Joy.
Okay.
So that is what a DG is. It's a short acronym for a digital companion. 7. Your relationship is violent? Oh, you abuse the tech? What a dick.
All right, it's all coming together. I have a vague idea of why I'm doing this.
And they want you to quit your job. That's the relationship.
Why would my digital assistant want me to quit my job?
Because they want you to. It's a digital companion, not assistant, right?
Oh, okay.
Companion.
Okay.
Because they want you all to themselves, Sean, obviously.
Oh boy.
Amazing. All right, Matt, what you got?
Yeah, so my relationship is with a superior
Okay.
who was very distant,
Mm-hmm.
and they have gone missing.
Oh. Well, that could be interesting. Okay. And Kyle. We need 3d12 rolls here, one at a time, please.
Okay, first one.
2, a sibling.
Okay. Roll number 2. 8.
Who is deceitful, or the relationship is deceitful.
Oh boy. And number 3.
They want something from you. Oh, man.
Oh man.
Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so we've got our key relationships and key memories. We'll swing back to that next week once our players have had a chance to get all that figured out. So, again, you guys can put that on your sheet. Sean, how did you get some of these things to be highlighted on your character sheet?
I
See how
think
some
I'm
of
just,
them are in boxes?
yeah. Let me double check, because I think what I did was I was just double clicking.
Okay. Oh, there's like some formatting thing going on, it looks like.
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave you to that. I'm not going to fuck with it.
Yeah. That's weird.
All right, next up, we have your gear, I believe. Yeah, so this is where we get into your equipment and your Chinyan points and all that good stuff. Your gear. Nope, wrong one. Okay, so you get your standard issue gear at this point, which for all of you is, so these are probably in the items folder. You probably just drag them out. So you have your RDU badge, which is the Rep Detect unit. That's the unit you're part of. So you have your badge, your Kia, your Knowledge Integration Assistant, very important item. And then you have a PKD blaster or the 357 subcompact. The blaster is the classic weapon from the films. It has 3 different firing modes. You can do long-range shots with rifle shots that are single shot, needing to be reloaded. You have the standard shot, which is a standard caseless revolver. And then you have like a sonic shot, which is like a stun shot to try to not kill people with. The 357 is just a small gun. It's easy to hide. It requires somebody to make an observation test to see if you actually have it on you, but it only has 4-shot capacity.
So the guns aren't in the items folder.
They are. It goes items, then ranged weapons.
That's maybe a separate folder that has its own permissions.
Yeah, because I don't see that.
If
Yeah,
you
I
go
just have
into
the
the if you go into core rules, the your Blade Runner thing, you can go down to gear and it has a little
Well-
thing you can drag over.
Yeah, but okay, hold on. In the items tab in Foundry, you guys should have a core rules folder, correct?
Yeah.
You should have 6 folders within that, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
Are you-
items only has the Kia unit and the RDU badge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to give you access to the. Oh, come on, game. That's stupid. What if I do this? Anything?
No.
Nothing yet.
What about now?
Nope.
No.
Oh, fuck you, game. Are you
Nope.
Is that a?
Something now.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah.
What is this symbol?
There we
It's
go.
like a
Ranged
toy gun
weapons.
symbol. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, I have to give you access to every single. Oh, God.
Oh, okay. It makes more sense with the swords as contrast.
So stupid. Okay, there. That should be all the folders now. So pick PKD Blaster or the Subcompact. Looks like the Blaster has longer range. And higher crit dice and more damage. Whereas the Subcompact is a sneaky weapon.
So for some reason, when you add the weapon to your inventory or whatever, it doesn't go to your inventory. It just goes straight to your weapon to have in combat.
Well, I guess that makes sense because it is a weapon.
Right. I just expected it to be like in the inventory first, so I dragged and dropped it like 6 times. So.
You would. So now you have 6 blasters.
And then I started blasting. Yeah.
Okay. Now it does say in the rulebook that you guys also get a detective spinner. I don't know if that's in here. I don't actually see it. No, I don't actually see that here. But basically, you guys have access to the special LAPD spinners, assuming that there's some in the garage for you, which there usually are. But obviously, you don't own any of this stuff. It's all property of the LAPD. That was your standard gear. What do we have next? Choose or roll your signature item. If everybody wants to roll me a d12, unless they want to just pick off the list here, go right ahead. Or go ahead and roll.
Got a photograph.
All right. 7 is a dog tag.
All right.
6, an old coat.
Okay.
7, you want to re-roll that, Kyle? Unless you want to have a dog tag as well.
No, reroll.
12, a tombstone.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Wow.
Now you don't lug the tombstone around, obviously.
Counts as a melee weapon.
Boo! Yeah, come on.
You're not Michael Myers here dragging around Judas. Oh, you have a sibling too. Are you Michael Myers?
Yes.
Now there's a crossover.
Fuck yeah!
Michael Myers, the ultimate Blade Runner.
I'm not gonna
Holy
investigate
crap.
or like interrogate anybody. I'm just gonna tilt my head at them.
Yep, until they answer you. So yeah, your signature item is something you can interact with once per game session to recover a point of stress, just like in Alien. Obviously, though, the tombstone you don't have with you at all times, so it's a little bit, you'd have to go visit it. Whereas everybody else would probably be able to cover or hold most of their stuff here. So, interesting. Okay. Next we have our, I think it's our money. Yeah, Chinyan points. Okay. So I think everybody already rolled for this at the start, which was it's based on your class. I'm sorry, your archetype. City Speaker's a D8. Doxy's a D8. Fixer's a D10, and Inspector's a D6. If you're a replicant, you subtract 1 from this total.
Alright. Let me break this one.
Oof. 3. Oh, you nudged it.
5.
Now.
Oh, Kyle with a 1.
What the fuck?
You're
Now,
poor.
this is an abstract amount of money. It doesn't mean you have $1 or $2. It just means you have, like, 1 resource point. So think of it kind of like wealth from the 40k game. Most items in the game cost between, like, 1 and 10 Chinyan. So, obviously you can get more as time goes on. So that was money. Yeah, you get Chinyan during the course of the game as you solve cases and things like that. This represents any savings you might have managed to scrape together during your career. It is possible for replicants to start with 0 because of their negative that they get. So, but I think
Oh, I
everybody's-
get an extra one
What's that?
because I'm a veteran.
Oh, you're
So
right.
excellent. I don't get 1, I get 2. Haha.
So I technically have 4 because I'm a rookie and a replicant.
Oh, you're right. Yes, those stack. Yeah, rookies, you get -1 to this roll. I'm so sorry. I'm jumping all over the book here.
I'm just reading along with the book.
Oh, if I start with 1 from that D10, it's a bummer.
Ouch. Okay.
Better than 0, which is the number
Uh,
I expected.
All right, roll for your appearance. We're not going to do that because that's stupid. Choose your name. I feel like we missed something here. Okay, no, I guess we're just about done.
You can roll for your home.
Oh, yeah. And you know what else we didn't do? We did roll, but I don't think we applied it. Everybody rolled for their promotion points, correct?
Yeah.
All right, and
Yeah.
replicants, you get 1 less promotion point.
0 of those.
Yeah, so you can roll for your home, which I think we should do that. Unless now, normally, so in LA, obviously the housing situation is not great, and unless you've got money, you probably have a very, very shitty place. Being an LAPD officer, or Blade Runner, means that you can automatically just have a small, sparsely furnished little apartment in Sector 5. Sector 5 has a huge area that is just LAPD housing. It's pretty much what you see in 2020 or 2049. It's a very small apartment, but it is free, and they pay for it. So, if you guys want to roll, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll assume you have a small apartment in Sector 5.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I'm gonna find it. There we go.
With your key relationship, re-roll to see where they live, Sean.
I
You're-
got a 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see it. I thought it was a 12. Okay, so
No.
2,
Yeah.
condo filled
Ours
with
get
old
furnished.
mementos and a balcony overlooking the neon-lit streets of Little Tokyo. Okay. So not shit. Not great. Not crap. All right, who else?
I rolled. Go ahead, Kyle.
No, you go first.
So I rolled a 7. It's a huge but dilapidated old apartment in an abandoned building on Retirement Row with leaking ceilings and full of debris.
Okay. Sounds lovely.
I mean, that sounds Blade Runner-y.
Yeah. Kyle, how about you?
All right, here we go. Bada boom. 10.
In a serene luxury penthouse hotel suite in the financial district.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Oh, boys. I mean, you can visit me anytime. Shit.
It
That's
still has
nice.
leaky ceilings.
Shut up. Got the best ceilings.
It's Blade Runner. Something's broke.
Well, he is the richest character, right? So.
That's true, and
Yeah.
you're a veteran.
Yeah.
Oh no, Sean's the richest character by far. Holy fuck.
Hey, baby.
All right. Well, maybe that's why your savings is dwindling. 2. So you have a typical LAPD housing apartment in Sector 5.
Oh, well then that's what I should have, right? Because I rolled a 2 too.
Oh, I'm sorry, I saw Matt too. Yeah. Sean had a 2 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you both have just a standard apartment. Which is fine. There's actually a map for it in the book somewhere to show you what the breakdown is. It's exactly like the one that Gosling has in 2049.
Nice.
So it's probably something very similar. Okay, and yeah, the last thing is that everybody marked off their promotion points, right? So we're good to go there. So promotion points you can use during the game to, once you get 5, you can spend a shift and spend time at the training grounds to learn a new specialty. You can also spend them to try to get specialized gear from the LAPD. And once per case file, which is once per adventure, you can make a connections roll, and you can exchange 1 promotion point to get a Chinyan point to represent that you're trying to get a pay raise. But if you fail, you lose the promotion point and you don't get the raise. So, and then there's also a thing called humanity points, which is more like regular XP. Humanity points let you level up skills. It costs 5 humanity points to go from a D to a C, 10 to go from C to B, and 15 to go from B to A. I don't think there's a way to raise your attributes. It's just your skills. So that is pretty much it, other than have we chosen names yet, or is that still something we're working on?
Still working on it, yeah.
Okay.
I named mine.
Okay.
I'm going with Violet Lee.
Hold it. Anybody else? Or is Tyler the only one who has a name so far?
No, my guy is going by Silas Holbach.
Excellent. Okay. That feels good. All right. Cool. Well, before we sign off here, really quick, fellas, I just want you each to see how the rolling works here. So, and just go ahead and make a skill test of whatever skill you'd like. So, listeners, again, you add up the 2 dice from your attribute and your skill. So, for example, if we make a firearms roll, firearms is an agility skill. So we roll whatever our firearms dice is and whatever our agility dice is. You're looking for 1 or more successes.
Dude, I love
like
the layout of that.
it's telling you this right here. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can see on all these rolls, Violet got 1 success, Silas got 2, Sean got 2. So it'll tell you how many successes you get, and then yep, everybody passed. And then it looks like for those of you that you can try to push to get more. I'm not sure why it's not giving you the push option, Sean.
Are the eyeballs the push?
I did push, so
The
I
eyeballs are the
re-rolled.
successes. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll try again.
Yeah, because you can re-roll. So the way pushing works, you can re-roll any of the dice unless they are a 1, the unicorn. And so you can even re-roll successes to try to get more successes if you're rolling a D10 or a D12. However, if any of the dice, either dice you previously rolled or dice that you re-roll, show up as a 1, you take a point of health damage if you're making a push on a strength or agility test, a physical test, and you take a point of stress if you're rolling a intelligence or empathy based test. And if you roll multiple 1s, then you take multiple points of damage. Finally, this game has advantage and disadvantage in this. If you have advantage, then you get to roll an extra dice based on the lowest dice in your dice pool. So if you're rolling a d6 and a d12 and you have advantage, you'd be rolling 2 d6s and a d12. If you have disadvantage, then I believe you lose your lowest die. So again, if you had a d6 and a d12, you'd only be rolling the 1 d12. There's also a couple other nuances. Let me just double check there. Yeah, you remove your lower base dice. So the 2 dice you're rolling for your attribute and your skill, those are your base dice. And again, if you have advantage, you double your smallest base dice. If you have disadvantage, you lose your lowest base dice. Combat's pretty much like in Aliens. Extra successes let you do stunts and do more damage. Generally, you only need 1 success to win a test or to succeed at a test. And then if it's an opposed test, it's most successes is victorious. If it's a tie, nothing happens, and only the person who initiates or is the attacker can push a roll in an opposed test. And then you can assist in this game. Assisting is nice and clear. So if somebody assists, they give you advantage, but instead of doubling your lowest dice, they contribute their base dice for their skill level. So, for example, Kyle, if you were going to make a hand-to-hand combat roll, you've got a D and a B, so a D6 and a D10. Let's say Sean's helping you. He would add his hand-to-hand. So rather than doubling your hand-to-hand, he would add his, which would be a C, a D8 dice. So you'd be rolling a D6, a D10, and a D8 for that. I don't see... Does it tell you... Oh, it tells you there. Advantage, disadvantage. I see. Very cool.
And then you can just, there's like a little plus when you choose roll a thing, so you can add a dice if someone's helping, right?
Yep.
Pretty handy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand the successes. Those are just generated by the eyeballs on the certain numbers. So
It's
like on
a 6 or higher is one success. A 10
Okay.
or higher is 2 successes.
Okay, got it. That makes sense.
So it is... You could potentially roll 6 successes if you were rolling with advantage and all your dice were D10s or D12s.
Mhm.
But
So
typically you'll see like 1 to 3 is pretty common.
That tracks then. That's why the D skill sucks, because you got 1 out of 6 chance.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And typically, to pass a test, you only need 1 success, unless it's an opposed test or something really, really difficult. But just like an alien, it's usually just 1. So, but I believe you can use the extra successes to do other stuff with skills. So, again, very similar to Alien.
Yeah, I think I read something like you can do it quickly or quietly or gain some new insight or information.
Yeah, and finally, yeah, that's on page 54. Finally, group roles. It tells very clearly in this game when you have to make a roll, like if everybody's trying to do something, only one player makes it, but the person who's the best at it gets to make it. Unless it's stealth, in which case it's the worst person. But let's say you're all examining a crime scene, rather than having everybody make observation tests, the best person makes it, and it's assumed that everybody else is kind of participating with that to kind of speed things up and keep it simple. And they can help, obviously, but yeah, that's it. So, any questions, kids? I think our Blade Runners are pretty much ready to rock next week.
I'm pumped. I'm ready to start.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Excellent. So for next week, players, please figure out exactly what your key memories and key relationships are. Maybe have a bit of a backstory ready for us, and why you're working in the LAPD or how you've gotten this far. You don't necessarily need to know each other just because you're on the force. The LAPD is big. Obviously, for a city of 30 million people, you've seen the LAPD Tower in 2049. There's quite a few people that work there. Obviously, not nearly enough to cover the whole city, but and obviously even less that are Blade Runners. But you've either been built, created, or you now work as this as a human. So we'll learn all about our players and their characters next week as we delve into Electric Dreams. So that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next week as we begin our adventures here in downtown Los Angeles. So be sure you stop by, same time, same place next week. Nighty night.